Today, human rights are the fundamental rights, freedom that belong to every individual, regardless of the nationality, race, gender, and religion or social status. These rights are rooted in human dignity and are essential for peace, justice, and development. And today, we will report on human rights violations as a global issue and discuss their implications for the Philippines. And despite the international laws, constitutional guarantees, human rights violations continues to persist in many parts of the world.
Human rights gained global recognition after the Second World War, when the world witnessed the devastating effects of violence, discrimination, and abuse of power. So this led to the creation of international human rights and agreements aimed to protecting individuals and promoting equality and justice. However, violations remain widespread across different countries. People experience political repressions, unlawful killings, tortures, forced labor, human trafficking, and discrimination. These abuses are often linked to weak governance and armed conflicts, poverty, and lack of accountability. So, armed conflicts remain a major source of human rights violations. Civilians are displaced, women and children become victims of violence. And also, the refugees face discrimination and limited access to basic services. Okay. Human rights are only legal or moral concerns. They are closely connected to peace, security, and sustainable development. Societies that fail to protect human rights often experience inequality, social unrest, and weak democratic institutions. As a member of the international community, the Philippines has committed to upholding human rights standards through its constitution and international agreements. However, the challenges remain in ensuring that these rights are fully protected in practice.
So, in the Philippine context, human rights issues are shaped by the governance, socioeconomic conditions, and institutional capacity. And so, while the Constitution guarantees fundamental rights, problems in implementation continue to affect many Filipinos. And one thing or the major concern involves law enforcement operations, which efforts to address criminality have raised issues related to due process and the use of force. Allegations of extrajudicial killings and arbitrary arrests have raised also concerns about accountability and justice. Meanwhile, the justice system is also facing challenges such as court congestion, delayed case resolution, and overcrowded detention facilities, affecting the right to a speedy trial, which is especially for marginalized sectors.
Freedom of expression and press freedom are essential pillars of democracy. Journalists and media practitioners help expose corruption and human rights abuses. So, however, reports of harassment, legal intimidation, and online attacks create challenges for free expression. Socioeconomic inequality also affects human rights in the Philippines. Many Filipinos still experience limited access to quality education, healthcare, housing, and employment, particularly in rural areas and geographically isolated communities. Also, indigenous peoples continue to face challenges related to land rights, cultural preservation, and also access to service, especially when development projects affect ancestral domains.
Also, labor rights remain a major concern as many Filipinos experience job insecurity, low wages, and unsafe working conditions. Also, overseas Filipino workers or OFW faces additional risk such as abuse and limited legal protection abroad. Also, gender-based violence and discrimination continues to affect women and children. Although laws exist, gaps in implementation and limited resources remain challenges. Even though local government plays a key role in protecting human rights, while some LGUs implement effective programs, outcomes remain uneven across communities.
In conclusion, human rights violations remain a serious global issue with significant implications for the Philippines. While legal frameworks exist, gaps in enforcement, accountability, and service delivery to continue to affect the realizations of human rights. Protecting human rights requires cooperation among the government institution, civil society, and the public.
Human rights are not only written in laws and policies, they must be protected in everyday practice. Through shared responsibility, a just, inclusive, and peaceful society can be achieved. Thank you for watching, and that's all. Thank you.